again, CBDC friends and family. This is Kevin Turner, CEO of the Christian Business Development Company, and I am here with one of our guests, and we're going to talk about some things today. It is Paul Dark of Benefit Management Associates. You say owner. Yeah.
Owner, that's fine.
Benefit Management Associates. And what we want to talk about today is insurance and different forms of insurance, why it's so important and what's the use of it and why it will be good for you. So Paul, thank you very much for joining us today.
Great. I appreciate you guys having me on your show, and I'd like to talk to everyone about life insurance.
Yeah.
Life insurance can be utilized for financial reasons. And some of the things that we do is that we look at financials as not life insurance. Life insurance provides a mechanism not only for the beneficiary, but it also provides income for that particular person. There's multiple types of insurances when it comes to life insurance, but the key is the one that we call IULs, which is Index Universal Life.
Right.
You want to do an Index Universal Life because in addition to providing a death benefit to the beneficiary, it also provides revenue.
Okay.
Let me give you a perfect example. My grandson and my granddaughter, when they were born, I got them a $500,000 life policy, IUL.
Okay.
Now, when they become 21 years old, the death benefit is going to remain the same, but the key, though, is that they're going to have a cash buildup that in lieu of borrowing money from anyone else, a bank, a family member, they can simply borrow money from that particular life insurance policy.
Now, you know what? And I just wanted to stop right there. And I appreciate what you just said. Just but just for the audience and everything else, and I know you probably already know what we're talking about. But explain what a death benefit is and how all this is lined up within our thinking and how we get an IUL.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a good question. What we do is that we tend to look at term life policies.
Right.
Why? Because they're cheaper.
Exactly.
They're cheaper. Do they serve a purpose? Yes, they do. Maybe
Yes.
in the beginning of a person's endeavors, yeah, they do serve a purpose.
Right.
The particular term policies that we work with, there's even a living benefit involved with it as well.
Right.
And a lot of people don't understand about living benefits. What that means is that I have a $500,000 term policy.
Right.
Primarily, whoever the beneficiary is, upon death, that person receives money.
Yeah.
However, what if I got sick? What if I had some critical illness that came about and I needed money?
Yeah.
I can actually go to that life insurance policy and actually receive a portion of 80% of that money to be utilized for my care.
And see, and that's where I was going with it. And I appreciate what you just said because we have a misnomer, especially within our communities, that life insurance is only supposed to be used for burial or I'm going to go ahead and put someone into the ground funeral, not realizing that you can use this actually as a life building thing. You build some equity while you're still alive.
Correct.
Okay?
And this is one of many tools that we use for generational wealth.
Okay.
Because what it does is that there's two aspects. Real estate creates generational wealth.
Right.
Life insurance policy
Right.
create generational wealth because those particular policies that have this cash buildup can be utilized for the next generation. That's why, on my example, that's why I provided my grandkids with that particular IUL policy.
On that note, okay, Benefit Management Associates, okay, what does Benefit Management Associates do to help to, take that mindset and help people to understand what they can do and how to educate them a little bit more?
You know what, it's interesting. What we do a lot is we do a lot of mentoring.
Okay.
And we do a lot of mentoring, particularly with the, millennials, Generation X, just to let them know some of the things that we were not privy of.
Yeah.
And we have to look at that as we were not privy, but what impact would we have on people that are younger than us and provide them with things that we were not provided with. So now they will be able to move forward in that whole process and be a lot more successful than what we are.
Yeah, again, working for our children and our children's children. You know, it may not impact us, but at least we can, pay it forward down the line. And yeah, we were taught some things. You know, again, work, make money, put money aside.
Right.
But and then, and if you were able to get insurance,
Right.
yeah, okay, that's extra.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So now, someone has, like, say for instance, $1,000, or they want to put a couple of $1,000s together. What would you suggest to them in order to, again, to start and to build a legacy and to put some things in motion as far as life insurance is concerned?
What you do, good question. What you do is that you front load, and when we say front load, for instance, let's say that we are not in the position to afford a $500,000 policy.
Right.
And let's say we can only afford a $250,000 policy, or some people even a $100,000 policy.
Right.
What you want to do though is that if on an IUL, if we can front load that policy, then that revenue is going to continuously increase within the body of that insurance policy. For
Right.
instance, if we had $1,000 to spare a month, or even $1,000 a quarter, and put it into that particular policy, what it's going to do, it's going to do a lot more than you putting it into a bank.
Okay. And then on that note, and I appreciate what you just said, on that note, especially if someone does not have that type of money to front load, okay? But they have like maybe, let's say, $30 to $50 a month, and yeah, it would take some commitment of pushing back on some things,
Right.
okay? But if they just wanted to like make a commitment and say, okay, $30 to $50 a month, what would you suggest to someone that wants to do something like that, starting even smaller?
Good question. What I would recommend, one of the things that we have now today that we did not have in the past is we have auto pay.
Yeah.
I love auto pay.
Yeah.
Because you know why? Because from a mentality standpoint, we don't see that money.
Yeah, so
we
it's
don't,
out of
we
my
don't,
pocket.
right?
Out
We
of
don't
my-
see it. But when we got to write a check or pass cash over to something, then mentally it's like we're taking money out.
Yeah.
But with auto pay, the money is coming right out of my checking account. It's coming out of a credit card. I don't miss it because I don't see it.
Yep.
And guess what? That money is accumulating within the body of that life insurance
Right.
policy.
And hopefully, if you put it in the right vehicle, it's building equity.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
thank you for all this. Okay, is there anything else that you would want to say, especially if you were talking to your children and you wanted to, like, again, leave that legacy? What would you want to say?
Funny. I have 3 daughters, and I talk to them all the time about this. And one of the things that I always try to tell them and emphasize to them is that banks are great.
Yeah.
Banks are great, but we have to look at it from a revenue stream standpoint and say, I want my money to make money when I'm asleep.
Well, I'm sleeping. That's
And
right.
the way that you do that is you have tools like life insurance policies, you have real estate, and you also even have annuities.
Yeah.
But the difference is that with the life insurance policy, guess what?
Yeah.
It's tax deductible.
Yeah.
You pay no taxes on it.
Yeah. And you know what? I know it's easier said than done, but when we start to learn how to work smarter and not harder.
There you go. That's the key.
Okay.
That's
All
the key.
So, so how could someone get in touch with you and your company to to discuss even things a little bit further?
Sure. I mean, there's a multitude of ways, but one of the most effective way is go to our website. The website is www.benefit, BENEFIT, MNGT.com.
Got it.
Our phone number is 312-265-5097. We also are involved with social media. We're on Instagram, we're on Facebook and LinkedIn. But my recommendation would go right onto the website, and there's a contact section in there. You can plug in your information, and you'll get a call within 24 hours.
Yes. Okay. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, you know what? And Paul, again, as always, thank
Appreciate
you.
it. Appreciate
it. And thank you all very much for tuning in. Again, this is Paul Dark, the owner of Business Management Associates. I'm Kevin Turner. Thank you for watching.